Math 2, second semester final review today, or right now we are doing units 10 and 11. Are we all ready? All right. First one, find the vertex. This is vertex form. Does anybody remember how we use this to find the vertex? Okay, I heard 2 and what? Okay, close. -2, right. What was it? Opposite of the inside, outside?
Stays the same.
Stays the same. It's positive in front right there, so does it open up or down?
Down.
Up?
Oh, wait, up.
Because it's positive. What about this one here that's negative? Which way would this one open?
Down.
This one would be down. Okay, let's come back up here. Let's go left 2, down 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. They didn't ask me for intercepts, so I'm just going to draw a sketch. I know it's opening up. I know it is symmetrical. Across this line of symmetry. Okay. Domain. When you draw your own parabola, they didn't give it to you, you drew your own parabola, and there's no restrictions, which there hasn't been for us. What is our domain going to be? Does anybody remember? Good job. Who gave that to me? Good job, Riley. All real numbers. That was the double bar R is what I've called it. Shh, guys. Okay, everybody has that? Now, is the range also all reals? No. If you remember, domain was the set of all x values. It was all your x's, and the range is all your y's. So, I'm going to show you this right here. Actually, does this graph go up and down forever? Range of the y value, so looking up and down. Does this graph go up and down forever? No. I'm going to put this up here really quick. This is a graph you'll graph next year. It's a cubic graph. Does this graph go up and down forever?
Yes.
Goes up forever, down forever. So this range would be all reals. This range is not because it's only going upward. So we use the y because it tells us the possible y values. Since it's going upward, would we say greater than equal to or less than equal to? Greater than equal to. What y value is the lowest y value? So the graph moves up from a y value of -3, so it's everything greater than or equal to -3. Got it?
Call me Einstein.
Line of symmetry. This is your line of symmetry. What x value does it cross?
2.
-2? And I don't just put -2, what do I write? That's a point. This is a line, so I write x equals -2. Is this vertex a max or a min?
Minimum.
It's a minimum because it's the lowest point on the graph. Does anybody know what the minimum value is? Do you guys remember that? Minimum value is -3. It's your y value. The minimum value, it's the lowest on your graph, is -3. Okay. Questions at all on that one? All right. Next one. Michael, can you give us the vertex for this one?
4, 2.
Everybody agree with him? Good job. 4, 2, opposite of the inside, outside stays the same. And Michael, we said it earlier. Is this? It's right here. -2, down. Right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, down. And again, I'm just sketching it. There's my axis of symmetry or line of symmetry. When it says max of g of x, I'm asking for the max value. First off, do you agree that is a maximum? Can anybody tell me how Raymond got 2? He's correct. Why is the maximum value 2? Right, it's always the y value. So how far up? The highest point is 2. Okay. Without any work, what is the domain? All real numbers. Is the range all real numbers?
No.
So this one, greater than equal to or less than equal to if it's opening downward? Less than or equal to what y value? 2. All right. What's this axis of symmetry or line of symmetry? Be more specific than just a 4. Good job. X equals 4. And the next one is -6 a solution. What do you have to do there? You have to plug in what? What are you going to plug in? 6 into the original function. and see if it works. See if you get negative 6. So negative 6 equals blank plus 2 squared plus 3. Did I plug it in the wrong one? Thank you. Okay, starting over. This one here. What are they telling me? The negative 6 equals negative 2 parentheses blank minus 4 squared plus 2. What am I plugging in for the x? 6. And what is my expected answer? If it is a solution, the answer should come out to be what? All right, work it out. Order of operations, you do 6 minus 4 first, square it times the negative 2, and then add 2 at the end. Put your phones away, please. Put your earbuds. I can hear whoever's playing stuff from here, so put it away. Okay, then put it away anyway. Put it away. Okay. All right. Who? Anybody has it? Did it work? Yes or no?
Yep.
Yes. If it works, negative 6 equals negative 6. Yes, it is a solution. All right. For g of x, name 2 other solutions. I'm going to let you guys do this on your own. If it's asked you to name your own solution, pick a value for x. You can plug in 0, plug it in, get an answer. You can plug in 2 or negative 2, 1 or negative 1, 5 or negative 5. Plug a number in for x, solve it, and find your corresponding y value. Okay. The descriptive form of a parabola. This is the descriptive form, also called the vertex form, is best to reveal the what? It's right in the title. It's best. What did we find right from the very beginning very easily? The vertex. Okay. Do you guys agree that it's easy to say opposite of the inside, outside stays the same, your vertex is HK? You don't have to do any rewriting, that's your vertex. Okay. Or, this or piece is usually what they ask you on test. It's kind of implied vertex form, you find the vertex. This next one you do have to think a little more about. Does anybody remember what the second part was? It was a characteristic that we have up here. Good job. The max or minimum value. Max, yes. Max or minimum value. Let's take a look right here. You guys told me this was a minimum value, or this was a minimum with the value of what? Negative 3? And is that the ending value here? Okay, you guys said this was the maximum with the value of what?
2.
And is that the ending number there? Is it always going to be that ending number that gives you your maximum or minimum value? Yes. Questions? Okay. Next one. Number 2. I'm going to have you not do this piece here. We're going to go through and we're all paying attention. We're all working this out together. I'm going to review another way for you to do this. Okay. First thing it's asking us to find is the vertex. I'm writing here because I write big and I don't have enough room there, but you can squeeze it in there or a separate piece of paper. Okay. Does anybody remember? There was a multiple of things I could do to get it in vertex form. Complete the square. Factor wasn't one of them. Complete the square was the way. Don't do that right now, though. Complete the square was one way to get it into vertex form. Are they asking for vertex form or just find the vertex? Okay. So step backwards. If they ask for vertex form, complete the square and go from there. If they just ask for the vertex, instead of completing the square, what was another method? It wasn't factoring. I will tell you, it was a little tiny fraction formula, and then we found it and plugged it in. Something over 2a.
B.
Something with the b. It was negative b over 2a. This, if you look in your notes, was actually called the axis of symmetry formula or your line of symmetry formula. After we found the line of symmetry, we plug it in to our x values and find the corresponding y. Okay, what is a in the original problem? Gabrielle, you're writing this stuff down, right? What is the a value? 1. What is the b value? Don't need it, but what's the C value? Okay, x equals, opposite of b. If b is already negative 2, what's the opposite of negative 2? Over 2 times a, which is, so 2 over 2 is 1. So is that my x value of the vertex? Is it also my axis of symmetry or line of symmetry? Yes or no? All right. How do I find the corresponding y value? Plug it in is correct. Y equals blank squared minus 2 blank minus 8. Go ahead and plug in the 1 and work it out. Plug it in, work it out.
You're letting me go. I got water.
All right. What did you guys get? Negative 9 is correct. Okay, so over here I'm going to write 1, negative 9. And if you can plot that, go over 1, down 9. Okay, line of symmetry. What's a line of symmetry? It's actually, we just found it over here. What's the line of symmetry? Not just 1. X equals 1. It's going to be this line right here. And do you agree? It is the line x equals 1. Goes right to the vertex and is vertical. Okay. Now, please stop. What's the next question? Explain how to get the line of symmetry from the equation. What formula did we use? Negative b over 2a. Okay. If I was more specific and I said, how did you find the vertex, what would you say? Negative b over 2a, and then did what with this? Plug it in to the original. All right, x-intercepts. Does anybody remember, you've been doing this since Math 1, probably even middle school, how you find the x-intercepts? What does what stay right here? Used. Yeah. You plug in 0 for x. Good job. I'm sorry, not for x, but for y. If you're looking for x-intercepts, you make y equals 0. So let's go over here. Where's the y if I don't have a y in this one? K of x. 0 equals x squared minus 2x minus 8. Now, I've not gone over one of these in a while. If you have this function equal to 0, I'm going to give you guys a few seconds on your own to figure out how to solve. No talking. We already plugged in 0 right there. Can you guys please stop?
Oh, wait, I know.
Okay, I heard one, yes.
You add 8
Okay, add 8
on both sides.
on both sides.
And then you do the square root of, wait, am I doing this right?
Plus, okay, so plus blank and plus blank, is that what you're saying? Yes, it is that form. Okay, before I continue this, what is this method called? Complete the square. All right, now I heard someone else, I'm going to put it over here, 0 equals x squared minus 2x minus 8. I think it was Mia that said factor. If it factors, is factor really the easiest way? Yes. Now, if it doesn't factor, or if it's not a nice one to use the complete the square, there was one other method. Does anybody remember what it was?
Cut the 8 in half.
That cut the numbers in half, that's complete the square. It was the x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of what? B squared minus 4ac all over quadratic formula. Guys, when we talked about methods we liked, for me, I said I like this method if I can. If I can't factor, I do this if I can. If it's not a nice one to complete the square, I use this one as a last resort. I don't do it otherwise. But you should know how to do it. Now, I have some kids that'd rather do this than factoring. Totally up to you. Okay, so let's just factor really quick. X into X, same sign or different signs?
Different.
Different. You guys figure out the numbers. You have to multiply to 8, 1 and 8, or 2 and 4. Go ahead and write them in. Fill them in. Both of you, please. Okay, what did you factor it to? Can you tell me? Minus 4 plus 2. Did anybody else get that? Okay. We used a property. Does anybody remember the name of the property? It had the word 0 in it. Zero what?
Wait, what's the other one?
P, zero product property. Okay, which stated, please stop. If you have 2 or more terms, do you guys see that I have 2 terms here? If you have 2 or more terms, shh, guys. Okay. And I meant to say factors. Please stop. If you have 2 or more factors, multiplying to equal 0, each one could equal 0. Doesn't matter which one, but one of them should equal 0. 0, 0. Subtract the 2, add your 4. What are your 2 solutions? Negative 2, positive 4. Do I put parentheses around it? No, it's negative 2, 0, and 4, 0. Got it? All right. Write that over here. Negative 2, 0, 4, 0. Because I want to review it, I want to quickly review how to finish this off, because this is a method you should know. Not everything factors. We take the 2 and cut in half and then square it. What's negative 2 cut in half? Negative 1, and you square it. 1 times 1 is 1. And then you get 9 equals, what do you get when you factor that? Minus 1, minus 1? No, I didn't give myself enough room, so I'm just going to continue here. 9 equals x minus 1 quantity squared. I'm solving for x. What do I do to both sides? Square roots, they undo each other, square roots and squares. Correct. Okay, I heard 3 equals x minus 1, and Kashari said, don't you do plus minus? Do you guys agree with her? And getting x by itself, what do we do? Add 1. So you have 1 plus or minus 3. X equals 1 plus or minus 3. What's 1 plus 3? And what's 1 minus 3? Same set of answers? Which way was easier? The factoring? Would you agree factoring was easier? Now, if you wanted to, you could have. You're going to end up with the same answer at any of these methods that you use. Questions? All right. Y-intercepts. How do we find y-intercepts? Plug in what? 0, 4, x. So I'm going to come here. Y equals 0 squared minus 2 times 0 minus 8. Please stop. You don't have, good question. I had kids ask that earlier today. Michael, get your head up. A kid asked, same as Daniel, if you already know it, do you have to show this work? No. What do you get? Be careful. Negative 8? Stop, please. Okay. Is this the nice one where it's just the last number for your y-intercept? Why? Because it's an expanded form, it's all multiplied out. You can just plug in 0, 0 minus 8, negative 8. All right. We already factored it. What was it? I think Mia gave it to us earlier. What was it? Minus 4 plus 2, or plus 2 minus 4. What is the relationship between the factors and the x-intercepts? They're the same. Are they opposites? X minus 4, and then you get positive 4. X plus 2, and you get negative 2. Can you use these factors to find your x-intercepts? Yes. So write something along that, on those lines. All right, what do we get here? Standard form of a parabola is this. This is standard form. What is this best used for? To reveal what without changing the form? What is it? The y-intercept. Got it? Here's the factored form. When did we use the factored form here? It was really easy. We used it right here. Factored form was used it's really nice to find the what? The x-intercepts. It is best to reveal the x-intercepts of k of x without changing the form of the equation. All right. Do you guys want to go over increasing, decreasing, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to jump. You guys can do these two pieces on your own. I'm going to do A, D, and E. Okay. R of x is y equals x squared. Opposite of the inside, outside stays the same. There's no inside, there's no outside. What's your vertex? 0, comma 0 at the origin. Positive, is it opening up or down?
Up, like down.
Positive x squared is opening upward. We call that the parent function for all the parabolas. All right. I'm going to jump down here now. Increasing, it's a u. V's are absolute value. V for vertex. Okay. Does anybody remember how we found when it was increasing, decreasing? I asked in my morning class, and a few kids did remember. Anybody out there remember?
Oh, wait. I have to do something with like greater than.
Okay, had to do something with greater than and less than, correct? Okay, we wrote something at the top.
Just look at the graph.
Okay, so we did this, the line of symmetry, and then Kashari did this. Do you guys remember this and this? Okay, now listen. Don't worry about what the graph looks like. Are the symbols always going to be that way?
Yeah.
On any number line, less than because the numbers are going smaller to the right, and greater than on the right. I'm going to start over. Less than on the left, greater than on the right. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Getting smaller going that way, getting larger going this way. Okay. Doesn't matter what the graph looks like, are those always going to be that way? Okay. And then we read our graphs from left to right. Walking on a hill, is that uphill or downhill? So that would be increase or decrease? Decreasing on the left side. And what are we doing on the right side? Increasing. And at what x value do I change from the decrease to the increase? 0. That's where the zeros are coming from here. All right. When is it decreasing? Decreasing's on this side, so I put the less than symbol. X is less than 0. Where is it increasing?
Oh, okay.
On the right side. So what symbol do I use?
Greater than.
Greater than. Any questions? I asked, and the class said no, they didn't want to change it. Okay. Guys. Shh. Listening. I'm going to go over a few really quick. Okay. Guys, stop. I'm going to go over quickly here. I'm not going to do it all. I'm going to go over the formula. Stop. You do this. 2 blank, 5 blank, plug in 2, plug in 5. Knock it off. Right here. They give you the function right there. And then you do it again for letter B. You plug in 5, and then you plug in what? 8. Does anybody remember the rate of change formula? It was a fraction. There was an x, there was a y, and it was actually pretty much the same as the slope. Rate of change formula is y2 minus y1 over. Okay, so you're going to do that here. What is 2 squared? And I'm getting that from right here. What is 5 squared? So you would do 25 minus 4 over 5 minus 2. Make your fraction and solve. Did I give you guys your test back already?
Yeah.
Okay. Over here you do the same thing. y2 minus y1, x minus x. Got it? Okay. Now, you can do that on your own later. The average rate of change is different. What does this mean for the graph? The larger the number means it's increasing what? at a faster rate. So let's say b is bigger. I don't know which one's bigger. You would say it is increasing at a faster rate when x is, or from x equals 5 to 8. If it's increasing faster here, you would say the function is increasing at a faster rate from x equals 2 to 5. Got it? All right. These here we just went over. The ones that you can factor, should you factor them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is the plus minus?
Now, if they don't factor, can you do complete the square if it's a nice one?
Yeah.
For example, this one right here. Let's say it didn't factor. It does, but if it didn't, is this a nice one to complete the square? Yes, because the number here in the front is what? And this number here has to be even. If this was a 5, I would not complete the square. You can, I wouldn't recommend it.
Wait, for E, can you like divide all of them by 2?
On E, good question.
No, because it-
D. Okay, on D, fabulous question. You guys should thank him for asking that question. He said, repeat what you said a little bit louder.
I said, if you can divide 2 by all of them, so it's an easier number.
Yes. The answer to that is yes. Hold on, we're not packing up. But you can only do that when the function equals what?
0.
It has to equal 0.
No matter
Now,
what.
right.
Aren't these all going to have to equal 0?
Yes. Shh, guys, stop. Okay, now he said do it to make it easier. That factor if you can. If it doesn't factor, I would not complete the square because of the 9. But you could quadratic if you choose. All right, questions? Okay, shh, guys, I want to talk about these two because it's been a while. Stop. This one. How many variables do you have? 1 or 2? 2. Don't count the squared. How many times does x appear? Once or twice? If it was once, you did something differently. You isolated it. You got it by itself. So what do you add to the other side? 18 and divide both sides by? Please stop. X squared equals 9. And what do you do to both sides? And be careful, it's not just 3, because Shari reminded us earlier, plus or minus 3. X equals plus or minus 3. This one is the same thing, only you're going to get plus or minus a fraction, but it still works out nicely. Any questions?